Hi everyone, welcome to Math 60 at Portland Community College in fall of 2025. My name is Peter Bamar Carrillo. I'm your instructor. This is just a video to introduce the different components of our D2L site because as a hybrid course, you'll be using D2L a bit to organize your learning in addition to the time we spend together in class on Saturdays. I'm going to walk through navigation of D2L. When you log into your D2L and you go to your Math 60 homepage, if I've posted announcements, you'll see them here. Otherwise, there's not a whole lot on the homepage that's going to be useful for you. Don't use this calendar. I'm not sure exactly how to organize it, and I think it's student specific. So I would not use that calendar for keeping up with your coursework. 99% of what you're going to do in D2L for this course can be found in the content link. The first place where you will land on D2L is a table of contents. By the way, after that, D2L will remember the last module you were in and will bring you back to that same module. So that can either help or potentially make your navigation a little bit more difficult. But you can always get to your navigation, navigate through the links here on the left. So the table of contents has just basic information about D2L in general. It's nothing course specific. The getting started with D2L is also these links here that are not course specific. So the course specific information you will find under course information right here. The syllabus, which I will expect you to read through, is linked here. There it is. So we are meeting on Southeast Campus in table 142 on Saturdays from 9 to 11:20. There I am, Peter Bamar Carrillo. There's my email address. If you want to meet with me individually, we can do that on Saturdays after class. Our course will involve 5 grading criteria. There's an online homework system called WebWork. There's problem sets that you do on paper and turn in to class, quizzes that you'll be taking in class, and midterm and final that will be given in an online format, if I'm remembering correctly. And there's more information about each of those, but I'm not going to go over them during this video. Yes, the midterm and the final will be taken in an online format, but you will take them in a testing center located in one of the 4 PCC campuses. All right, so that's a quick brief look at the syllabus. Back to the course information module. We also have a course calendar. This is going to be one of the more important links for you. It has the weekly due dates. So Fridays at 11:59 p.m. online WebWork problems will be due. Saturdays at the beginning of class, you will bring your problem sets to class. Most Saturdays or many Saturdays will have a quiz in class. And then the week of October 27th and the week of December 8th will be the midterm and the final exam. And the weeks are laid out here during the week. This week, we're talking about class structure and syllabus. That's what I'm doing right now. There are going to be videos for each of these sections that I will post this week, sections 1.1, 1.2, and 1.3. As you watch those videos, you can take notes and use the notes as reference to work on the problem sets, which are going to be printed out from your course packet. And I will show you those in a minute. Fridays, the WebWorks will be due. There's no WebWork due during the first week. And Saturdays, the written problem sets will be due. This coming Saturday, your first week, problem sets will be due. And each week, the problem sets cover the related sections. So week 1 problem set is sections 1.1, 1.2, and 1.3. There's no quiz this week, and next week we'll have a quiz. Each quiz is described by the week number. So the first quiz we will be taking will cover sections 1.1, 1.2, and 1.3. And it will progress in a similar manner throughout the course. A couple of things to keep in mind. There will be no class on Saturday 11/1 because you'll be taking the midterm that week in a testing center. And since you'll be putting that time in person, I'll give you that time back by not having class on Saturday. Also, we've got Thanksgiving week, and we're just not going to have class Thanksgiving week because the only day we would meet would be the Saturday after Thanksgiving, and the college is closed that day. So I'm also not assigning any work that class. That's a brief look at the calendar. You should be reviewing the calendar on a regular basis to make sure you're staying up to date with all your assignments and their due dates. Back to course information. There are two other really important links, I think, for this class. One is the course handout packet. So I'll click on this link now. And let's take a look. So this is a roughly 100-page PDF that contains all the written work you will be doing in class. I am using the standard Math 60 course handout packet. So just so you know, there may be some things in here that don't perfectly match with what we're doing. But the important pieces in this course packet you can read through all of this. I'll mention it again when we meet on Saturday. Here's a reference chart for multiplication. So beginning here on page 8 is your section 1.1 class notes. This constitutes your problem sets. So it has some information that I will be talking about in the lecture videos. Then it has a set of example problems. These are the example problems that I will expect you to work on, to try every single one, to do your best. If there's ones that you cannot figure out or that are just confusing, for example, sometimes the formatting gets messed up. And if you look at this and you're like, I don't have any idea what this selection of symbols is, just circle it, bring it, and we'll talk about it in class. We'll be going over at least some of each of these in class, going a little bit deeper, finishing ones that just didn't work for you on your own. And then you finish section 1.1, section 1.2, combining like terms. You're going to watch the video that I post on D2L in the corresponding week, and that will give you some information on how to work through this part of the worksheet. And section 1.3. So it's a fair amount of work for you to do on your own without in-class support from me or before we review these in class, but that's part of the expectation of a hybrid course, is you'll be doing more of this basic learning work on your own, and then our class time is going to be spent more on reviewing and locking down concepts and fixing misconceptions. Sections 1.1 through 1.3 are due this Saturday. And then in the coming week, you'll be working through sections 1.4, 1.5, 1.6, etc. And so all of the on-paper classwork you'll be doing in this course is in this course packet. There is free printing in any PCC library, so you can print the whole thing out at once, or you can print it week by week. But I will expect you to bring every completed document with you to class, both so that I can grade them and also that you can use them for reference. All right, let's see what happens if I close this window. Okay, so that's the course handout packet. That's the third very important link in the course information module. And the last very important link is the WebWork online homework link. I'm not exactly sure what we're going to see when I click on this, because it's going to take me probably to my instructor site, which is going to look a little different from your website. But the good news is you don't have any homework to do before this Saturday, so we can look at it together on Saturday. But all of your online homework, I'm going to pause the video so I can remember my login here. All right, I was able to log in. All of your online homework will be found within WebWork. There's an orientation assignment, and then the sections 1.1, 1.2, and 1.3, which directly correspond to the sections on the problem sets. All 4 of these assignments will be due Friday of week 2 at 11:59 p.m. So not this Friday, but next Friday. The idea is for you to work through the problem sets with the videos on paper, which you find in the course handout packet, to bring those to class, ask questions about them, get more information, and leave class prepared to work through your WebWork online homework, completing those by the following Friday. Once you complete your WebWork online homework, you'll be ready to take the quiz on the same material the next day, that Saturday. So those are the most important links here in the course information. There's one other link I forgot to show you in the syllabus, and that is a link to our textbook. I'll also put a link in D2L. I realize I should have a link there. Yes, it says access through our D2L site, and I guess I better put that link on there. So I'm going to pause the video and do that just so I make sure I don't forget. Updated the course information module to a link to our course textbook, which is a free online textbook. There is no physical textbook that you need to have for this course. It again is mapped directly to our problem sets and our web work. So in this first week, we're talking about variables, expressions, and equations, which are sections 1.1, 1.2, and 1.3 for this week. And so you can find the written description along with videos, which are different from my videos. So if you prefer these videos, you can just watch these. If you prefer mine, you can just watch mine. You can watch both. And they have little practice questions in here. You have a little bit of learning to do to figure out how to use it, but you can also show the correct answers. And so this is your written resource for helping you learn the material. So that is the 5th important link. So now that we're back in the content, let me show you the 5 important links. The first is the syllabus, which contains the basic information of the course. The second is a course calendar, which is how you can have an overview of everything that you're going to be expected to learn and when you should learn it. Then there is the course textbook, which is free online. The course handout packet, which is free as a PDF document and you can print at a PCC library. And then the last is the WebWork online homework. So that's the course information tab. You could do the whole course using the calendar and the other links, but to make it a little more simple, I've also developed these week by week modules that you can use to help organize your studying. So if you click on week 1, it'll give you a link to the WebWork. I think this goes just to the WebWork homepage. It's never going to go to the specific assignments. So it goes to the WebWork homepage, but it says right here which assignments are due and when they are due. I put them in week 1, even though they're not due until the following week, because this is the material that we are studying. And then there's a little information heading here. There's no link to anything, but it's a little information heading here telling you which course packet sections are due by Saturday. Pretty soon, not on this video, but when you go to the live page, you're going to see links to all the videos that I create for this week. So you'll see a link to the video we're watching here, as well as videos for sections 1.1, 1.2, 1.3. and a couple other introductory videos. And once we finish week 1, you can move into week 2, which will again have the WebWork sections that are due in the following week, course packet, information heading, and then also gives you a heads up that there will be a quiz on sections 1.1, 1.2, and 1.3 on the coming Saturday. So you can go week by week to organize your learning and chunk it that way. And that's what I would recommend. Week 6, as you can see, there's a midterm in PCC Testing Center. There is a WebWork due that Friday because it covers the previous week's material. And actually, it'd be a really good idea to work through that WebWork before you sit for the midterm, because this material is on the midterm. And then you'll see on week 10, it says Thanksgiving week, no work, no class. So that's an overview of our D2L page. As I said, content is really the only thing, the only link here that you're going to use for your learning. You can click on grades if you want to see a grade profile. I have no idea what we're going to see if I click on it. So to make sure I don't reveal any protected information, I'm not going to click on it right now. I don't use the links. I don't use the Zoom. The help is got some good support for you, more general, not specific to this course. And then the course info, I don't use this as well. So really, D2L is a super powerful system, but with great power comes great complexity. And that makes it challenging both to build a course and to use a course. So I try to run everything just through the content tab. We'll also be meeting every week, so you can always ask me questions in person. And that wraps it up for this video. The next video will be posted underneath this one, and it will kind of cover some general learning strategies for learning mathematics. And then there will also be the videos covering sections 1.1 through 1.3. So please watch all of those before our first class, and I will see you on Saturday.